Hey guys, it's Bear with the Gimpy Camper. I just wanted to take 1 second to say thank you if you're a member of our community. If you're not, please think about subscribing so that you can get our most up-to-date content as it comes out. Also, if you like our content, hit that thumbs up button because that lets YouTube share our videos to more people. Alright guys, so with the newest version of our generator setup, it's brought behind the door, so we just got to open the storage door. Stays right there. I will go ahead and say that the loudest part of this running at any time has been this rattling. So I got this cord on there just to hold it down, hold it still. So you just lift that up, pull it outside. You're good to go. We just want to make sure that our remote starter on-off switch is turned on, and then for the remote start we want to turn the generator over on run. So then all we do is we hit our choke and our start. Then we just have to plug our camper in. Also, we want to deploy our fan to help with the exhaust. The first thing that we did as far as the intake goes is apparently the air comes up at the bottom over here to the left of the battery compartment. And so by sitting this down without any wheels on it, because we took the wheels off when we did the remote starter, and I wanted to put it down on a pad. So it's on a anti-fatigue pad, which is a high density foam to help with any noise or motion, but that was blocking the air intake. I never had a problem with it overheating, but what we ended up doing was we cut the foam back away from this area. You can see where the air intake is on the bottom of the generator. And to be on the safe side, we drilled about 5 half-inch holes down through here right there so it can take plenty of air up through the bottom. As far as the exhaust goes, I actually got the general idea from another video that I'm going to link to up here as well as in the description. But basically, our flex tube that we had, it just kept getting loose because that hose clamp just didn't have enough holding power to tighten down on that flex tube around the muffler. And they didn't make a hose clamp small enough. And so it did fine for the most part. Like I say, there are some gases that can escape that way, but I was fine with that because it's outside. You got the fan blowing out here. But the thing that aggravated me is the flex tube, you know, when you stored it, it just kind of sat down here and you had to redeploy it every time. Well, when you did, every so often it would fall off of the muffler. So I got to thinking there has to be a way to make a flange or something that goes on to where the spark arrestor was bolted on. And I ran across this video. It was very informative. They're going to have more directions about what we actually did. But basically this is a pipe flange, a 1-inch galvanized pipe flange down in there. And that 1-inch galvanized pipe flange has been cut down into shape. So it's no longer circular. That way it fits better. The basic steps there are that you have to take a grinder and you got to cut that pipe flange down to the shape that you want. And then you have to drill the holes. The holes have to match where the spark arrestor holes were, which the pipe flange does not. That was really the hardest part about this whole project here, was getting those holes right, because I was about a 1/2 inch off. If you get it really right on center, you don't have to trim out any of this plastic right here, but you can see that I did trim it out a little bit. It wasn't touching, but it was really close. So the next step after you cut that pipe flange down is what you do is you put some blue painter's tape over the muffler area here, and then you get some high temperature silicone, and it's going to depend on the directions of your silicone. But basically what we did is we put the silicone all around the painter's tape there, and then we just barely tightened on that flange to start with, and the directions said to leave it sit for 10 minutes and then tighten it down. So we left it sit for 10 minutes, then we tightened those screws. Now those screws, they are metric screws. The other video that I have, they have a link to some screws that'll work there. The problem is I got the same screws from the hardware store and they were way too long. So you don't necessarily need them that long, but you probably need them 3/4 of an inch to an inch. The issue is that they bottom out after so often, so you have to have them cut pretty right. I eventually got mine to work fine. So I got them tightened down, and then the next day I came out and I took that off, and I took the painter's tape off, which because of the painter's tape, the silicone released from the generator side, so it doesn't leave anything permanent there. If I was going to run this inside, I would add a little bit of silicone to one of the areas on that flange where it looked like it was a little bit less covered, but I think that it's going to be fine. So then what I did is I used a 5-inch nipple. The 5-inch nipple was just to get out here away from these straps and everything, so that I could come out and around. Now truthfully, I was going to do the elbow and then we were going to do a flex tube from the elbow out. But the flex tube that I had didn't work because it was too small. And for what this is, it's got support here and it's got support up here at the muffler. So I feel like this is pretty well supported. It doesn't move around very much. And I feel like this is fine. This is just a 12-inch nipple. Now, one of my comments on my other generator exhaust video was about the tape that I had on here. I had just electrical tape, which did kind of melt a little bit and it left some black marks on the other exhaust pipe. And the guy told me to get some rescue tape and put on there. I've never heard of rescue tape, but rescue tape is silicone. So it's basically really similar to electrical tape, but it's silicone, so it's heat resistant. That seems to be working out really good. I'm going to put a link in the description of the video there. So basically I put a little bit of the red rescue tape here just to kind of, give it some attention so you see it and you know that it's hot. But then I also put a band here, and I put that there basically because while I was testing it out, I could see it trying to open and loosen up and this nipple fall off. And I thought if I had to like grab it real quick, I'd like a handle or something like that. But at the same time, now it's tightened with a pipe wrench, so it's not going to go anywhere. This is just enough clearance where that it will close with the door there, but it's pretty tight. So my only concern with this at this point is that this edge could be hot when you shut the door, which is another reason why I tried to put this rescue tape all the way to the end. But if it's going to be one of those times where you need to shut the door and you're worried about that, I'm planning on getting like a silicone. I think we have some measuring cups that are silicone that I can just like put over the end for an end cap. And that way I don't have to worry about the heat in the door.
Do not forget to hit that subscribe button.